As you get older, you might start to realize and think to yourself that, yo, where's time gone? What has happened during all this time? Where has it all gone? And why is it seemingly quicker than what it was before? And I think, just remember, this is just a thought, that this is because you're so much more distracted than what you would have been previously. Not only that, but also because as you get older, you get to experience more of life, basically making it seem like time flies. And yeah, every generation says time flies, when you're busy, of course it's going to. When you're not as busy and you're kind of just very present, time will go very slowly. Because think about it, if you just count to yourself 30 seconds with just your fingers, that's gonna feel very long. But if you could just watch a TikTok or something like that, those 30 seconds fly by. So now that we know that, what do? Well, spend time being more present. Spend time being more grateful. Spend time with yourself, whatever that may be. Otherwise, next thing you know, you're jumping from project to project, you're jumping from task to task, and you're gonna look back and you're gonna go, oh, where did time go? Sometimes it can be really hard to do this because when you're so engrossed and invested into something, you just start to think, it's all right, I'll do it tomorrow. And they say time is money because it is very expensive, considering each day that passes never comes back. See how valuable it is now? I don't mean to scare you in any way by saying that, by the way. I'm just saying how kind of valuable time is by itself. If we had to kind of commodify it, I don't know if that's a word, but if we had to put some kind of intrinsic value into it to make it seem, so you get what I'm trying to say. And so you don't really want to be spending it and forgetting to appreciate each day that comes along. Sometimes we just think, it's alright, it's just another day, but that day is very valuable. So pay attention to what you're doing sometimes, just be a bit conscious. Just think for a moment and just say to yourself, is this how I want to spend my day? Is what I'm doing making time seem to go faster or slower? Sometimes faster is a good thing, by the way, because especially when you're doing what you love to do and things like that, it goes quick. But again, that gratitude for the journey, come back to the gratitude again, makes you appreciate it. And appreciate just generally time on a very much kind of regular sense, because it's included in every single recipe that you partake in. Recipe for success also involves time, so it's everywhere. Can't escape it. Also, actually, speaking about time, it's kind of crazy how obviously on different planets and stuff like that, time kind of operates a little bit differently. It's pretty cool, isn't it? But yeah, here on planet Earth, time is of the essence, especially in a kind of modern society like we have today. Obviously not in every single part of the world, but we are still kind of modernizing a lot of different things in this world. And so I think a lot of the next generation, including mine, are going to have a pretty big problem when it comes to feeling fulfilled, because a lot of their time goes towards doing stuff that doesn't fulfill them. And this isn't their fault. This isn't, my fault. It's just, I guess, the entire upbringing. We're not really entirely aware of the constant distractions and how easy it is to kind of succumb to them. You've got entertainment nowadays that's like you could it's pretty much endless. I'm pretty sure you just would never ever be able to stop watching any of the shows on Netflix or anything like that, because the list is just plentiful. Not only that, you've got an array of gaming you can have nowadays. You've got an array of snacks now. Listen, let me tell you something. The other day, I got these wasabi crisps or fries, whatever you want to call them. Wasabi fries. They're amazing. But the choice is so plentiful now. It's crazy. And that's why you got to be aware, because every time you're taking these bites and these kind of consuming these kind of things, because it's so pleasurable and it hits you that instant dopamine hit, and you keep doing it over and over, your time just goes. Not to say that there's a problem doing that. Again, it all has its time and place, pun intended. But when it gets to a point where it kind of overtakes the ambitions and goals in your life, that is when there starts to be a problem. We don't want that. So think about how you want to spend your time more wisely. Don't do it in fear. Again, we don't want to live in fear by any means necessary. In a very kind of loving state, and loving yourself, and also self-love can mean disciplining yourself sometimes, but We want to kind of make sure we want to reach our long-term goals and ambitions. So be mindful of that. Oh yeah, also, if you haven't watched yesterday's episode, I decided to put a little bit of background sound there. So let me know if you like that more, or if you like this, you know, the regular emotion engine on the best producers in racing game music, possibly. So yeah, time is something that I guess you could call it an enemy. You could call it a friend as well, because it's limited, which means that it means so much. Whatever you produce within that kind of time, it means a lot, man, because it's very limited. Also, that coupled with like how, you know, how life is uncertain at some points, so it just makes, I guess, it even more valuable. So yeah, spend your time wisely. I'm going to end the video there. Pretty sure this will be a short one actually, because it's a pretty straightforward topic to talk about. But sometimes when things are more straightforward, they're harder to grasp. On that note, peace and blessings to you all. Be back in the next one. And remember to be grateful. I'm grateful for making this video. Grateful for you guys. And yeah, there's always something to be grateful about. Peace.